I won't stop till I hear him say,
Warning: the information that we convey in these videos and the content on this page simply provides general consumer information. It is not legal advice or regulatory guidance. It is not intended to sway your personal bias in any way. We are simply just relaying information already available to the general public. We highly suggest you do your own research and draft your own opinion on the topics disclosed in this video breakdown. Without further ado, sit back, relax, enjoy this video breakdown, and if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, consider doing so now.
I have no family and friends anymore because of trading.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay, what is going on, CYPRX advanced YouTubers? Welcome back to the CYPRX YouTube page. In today's video breakdown, I have an interview with a very special guest. I would like to introduce to you all Rusty Riggs from Market Perceptions. Now, I personally came into contact with Rusty over the internet during, I believe, the peak of the bear market in early 2022, if I'm not mistaken. His content caught my attention when I realized he was one of the few accurate market participants with a realistic analysis of how the crypto market moved. Anyone that follows Rusty's price action, or anyone that did follow Rusty's price action in 2022, notices that he trades in a similar fashion to how we approach the markets here at CYPRX. And that is against following the retail herd and the bullish moon boys, whom, if you didn't notice, all of 2022 led people in the wrong direction. All of 2022, Rusty and myself, as you saw most likely from Twitter, if you follow either myself or Rusty on Twitter, tried to warn people about the devastating blow that crypto was going to face and experience last year. Personally, at least in my market experience, I've been involved for over now 8 years as of October of last year. It is very hard to come across other successful day traders in this space. So today, I'm going to be asking Rusty a few questions, and hopefully you all, as our viewers here at CYPRX, learn something positive from hearing what Rusty has to say. Rusty, it is a pleasure to finally have you on this channel as a guest. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Man, I really appreciate you having us on. Yeah, all good. Quite excited to finally get to meet and have a good chat with you.
Sweet, brother. Thanks, man. Yeah, so this has been something that's been pending for quite some time. Like I said, I think we touched base at the beginning of 2022, which is really cool, man. I started paying attention to your analysis, and you were one of the few individuals that wasn't, given this whole bullish perspective, telling everybody to buy tops, and it really caught my attention, man. And I think that's when we started to communicate and touch base. And just after seeing how many accurate predictions that you and I were giving to the general public, hopefully, obviously, of course, not financial advice, saving people's portfolios over the length of the bear market in 2022 that we experienced, which, yet to say is over just yet. However, hopefully you all take something away from the content that Rusty and myself provide, and you're not paying attention to these individuals with overgrown YouTube channels because they tap into people's dopamine and give them this unrealistic perspective of the market. So let's jump in, Rusty, to a couple of these questions that I have for you today. And the first one is just to give yourself a little bit of an introduction to the viewers. How long have you personally been involved in the market and trading, either crypto or forex, whatever your poison is? And what got you into trading, man?
So in terms of how long I've been in trading, it's been around the 5-6 years mark. That's a couple of years of that was solid trading. Myself, I never really got into the retail trading too much because once you start to learn and study how a retailer's mindset is, if you're going to expand in the trading, you quickly learn that it's wrong, and it just really doesn't work. So for me, I would say, after speaking to a couple of other people who took the ICT route of trading, I've had quite a fast growth and fast grasp of the market, from a perception of you don't need to rush and you don't need to hurry into trades. And that's, going further into this interview, we'll get into a bit more detail on that. But yeah, it's been a nice 6 years for me. I've had a nice clean mindset of how to trade and what I need to look for. So yeah, but what got me into it? Now, personally, my background is I was a carpenter by trade, so I've always been out there grafting 8-10 hours a day, earning money. How I perceive it now is the hard way. Always fascinated how markets move. I don't know, I can never put a finger on it why I was always drawn to the beginning. It was the forex market. It was just the way the markets moved and the money that was made, and what you first start to look at of like people with Lamborghinis, the flashy watches, the big houses that you see all over the internet. It does get you in, and I'm not going to lie, it's what got me in. I had a different perception of how quick I was going to grasp it and what I was going to gain out of the market, but very quickly learned that it's not as easy as people perceive. If it was, we'd all be doing it and we'd all have the big mansions. But a little bit of a story. So when I had my first child, I remember it was around the April time, and I was at work. I was trading forex. I was actually trading GU at the time, and very volatile trading. I did £500 in probably 4 days, very beginning of the trading, and I thought, oh, happy days, I've nailed this, cracked on. Within 5 minutes in one trading session, the lot went in the blink of an eye.
Lost it all, huh?
And it was it was a crazy time, because obviously, one, it knocks your confidence. One, you start to really think, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? It's who I'm learning off, and yeah, it's been a long but nice journey for me. But yes, it's cool. But certainly the way money moves and what you can gain out of this if you have the right mindset and the right perceptions of what you need to do and what you don't need to do. It's just, I find it fascinating. I really do.
Yeah, for sure. I think that in the beginning, man, everybody comes into this market space with kind of like a lottery mindset. I think that's something that all successful traders down the road look back and realize that they definitely felt victim to at some point in their trading career. I myself definitely did, joining over priced mentorship programs. But for me, I kind of wanted more like I learned from my mistake approach. So I was the type of trader where I, after being victimized, I guess you could say, by so many illicit market gurus, being overcharged by these promised forex traders, right? These people that were charging $5,000, $10,000 for their courses. I myself paid over like 25 G's for mentorship programs back in my early days. Got manipulated by, like you said, the Lamborghinis, the flashy watches and whatnot. And I soon came to realize, just like you said, that the retail methodologies that these individuals were trading were not where the money was going. And so that just led me to really opening my third eye and realizing that the banking institutions were trading against these retail methodologies that these gurus were teaching, which led me to the creation of CYPRX and really seeing how the market moves. So that's really dope, man. It's dope that you fell in love with the way that the market moved. You didn't fall victim to the retail herd and the trap, which the majority of individuals do. And like I said at the beginning of this call, you're one of the few market participants that has come out on top just because of your ability to be aware of the lies from the truth, I guess you could call it, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, by no means finished. You look around the trading communities and you look at these big profile traders, and every day's still a learning day, because there's something, there's always, look what happened in COVID, and now we've seen a massive black swan event and a massive crash in the market. There's always things that I think you can learn, even if you're 10, 15 years down the line. So at the moment for us, yeah, it's certainly still early days, but what I've took from Inner Circle trader, Michael Huddleston's, it's been fascinating for me, and I've really latched on.
Yeah, for sure. There's always a learning curve in this market space. It's the type of market where you come in, or it's the type of occupation, if you want to call it that, where it's never going to be a dry day in the form of knowledge and information that you can accumulate. If you shut your mind off to knowledge in this market space, then you're shutting yourself off to becoming a more successful trader. If you think at any point in time that you know it all in this market space, there's always another market participant on the other side of the market that knows more than you. So you talked about quality traits just now and some things that you picked up. I wrote down one of the questions. What is one quality trait, just one, or characteristic trait that gives you an edge in this market compared to other market participants? I know that quality traits and characteristics that people bring to this market space beforehand, before their trading journey starts, are usually, or they do usually have a negative effect in their trading. Things like being too greedy or being too anxious or being too fearful, things like that. What is one characteristic trait or quality trait that brings an edge to your trading in this market?
Yeah, so when I first read this question, I was thinking of what I look for on a chart, but the more I thought about it, it's going back to mindset again. And mindset can be many things, but mindset for me, and the quality trait that I try to push on to the people who follow us or on Discord again, is to be very patient and wait. There's people talk about sniper trading and this, that, and what you've got to think about is a sniper really, they're focused on what they're going to do. They're on the target, they look, they're patient, they wait, they don't shoot straight away. And it's very similar to me in the trading aspect, as we sit, we wait, we know what we're waiting for, we're very patient in the market, and when we see it, we go in and we execute very well. Still, as a trader, we're playing a game of probability. I've never gotten away from that fact that, you still have your plan, you can still have your trade, but it could still go against you. So mindset for me is certainly one of my the best trade. For me, it's stay focused, be patient, and without a solid mindset, I think any trading strategy can go down the pan.
For sure. So patience, mindset, having a good solid backing plan that allows you to be patient in this market. That's something also that I teach the CYPRX students, is not to be an impulsive trader. I think that the majority of novice and beginner traders, they come into this market space, they think a couple of different things, like that every single day needs to be a trading day, or that every single market setup is one that needs to bring them profits, or buy whatever trending stock, cryptocurrency, or forex pairs out there that everybody's talking about. And so one thing that I really hone in and focus in on teaching, not only to the CYPRX YouTubers and on the Twitter space, but to the private community and the CYPRX students, is to be more reactive to the market, set yourself up areas of interest, and then create a sound set of confluences to react when the market comes to you instead of chasing the market. And that's benefited me in my trading. So I definitely am in cahoots with that, as being a patient market participant instead of an impulsive market participant, which is what 95% of other individuals out there in the space are doing. Good answer, man. So the next question that I have, from your perspective, what is the biggest inefficiency that most traders share that keep them from becoming successful? This is a really good one. I like this question.
So again, for me, a lot of my trading comes back to mindset and how people set themselves up. People think that you just need a certain trading strategy and you're going to master it, and then you're going to go with it. But for me, when you look around the communities and stuff, it's that self-belief and having that mindset of you are playing the game of probability, and if it does go wrong, it's not that the way you've set yourself up's wrong. It's not the way you've taught yourself, or you've got yourself to where you are. It's just the fact that the market can just go against you. So it's having that self-belief and that solid mindset that if a trader hasn't got that, then they're not going to be in this space for a long time, because as we see week in, week out, we can see at the moment you're seeing crazy price action. I know you're well into your forex. I don't know what that's like personally for trading. I'm personally mostly focused on crypto, but I see it a lot. People will, one week they'll post a chart and they've made 5k, they've done really well, and then the next week they've give up because they just don't feel like what they're doing is the right thing for them, and they essentially give up, and then you don't see them again. So for me,
sure.
it's self-belief and determination. To
sum that up, definitely self-belief. I think that's a really phenomenal one to nail that on the head, a characteristic trait that you need to have to be successful in this market space. If I could follow up with that, I think that having unrealistic expectations in this market space is what cancels out a lot of the beginner traders, the individuals that come into this market space for a quick fix. They come into this space because somebody on the internet that they saw, or somebody on the Twitter space that they saw, or some influencer or some relative, or whatever the case may be, influenced them in the form of monetary gain to come into this space. And then when they realized that it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, and that this market actually takes effort, elbow grease, hard work, dedication, sleepless nights of studying, massive amounts of capital, in my personal experience at least, to actually make it out on top, again, those unrealistic expectations cancel people out one by one. You know, they come in, they don't make money that was promised to them, or what is the word? Advertised to them, and then they quit. So that falls into line with the whole self-belief system that you just preached about, is having that firm belief in yourself, and then also at the same time setting yourself realistic expectations, right? How long are you willing to how long are you willing to dedicate to this market to become successful? And when I first came into this market space, I said to myself, I remember I even have this black journal, this black journal. I said to myself, I'm going to dedicate, you know, a year and a half to trying and attempting to becoming successful. Well, it took me 3 years before I had my first fully profitable year in trading. And so a year and a half through my trading career, that realization of, oh crap, you know, this isn't working for me just yet. I had to have belief in myself, and I had to persevere through the trials and tribulations. And when you get to those stepping stones, or those walls in your trading, you have to have that belief system in yourself, and you have to set yourself realistic expectations. So that's good. Yeah, that's a good answer, man. For sure. We'll do 2 more questions, because these are a little bit lengthier than I had anticipated. So one really good question that I like asking other successful individuals in this market space, just to kind of get a general gist, is what effect has trading had, on your personal life, friends, and family? Like, for example, did your friend group before trading change after you started trading, or did your family circle change after? Did people believe in you less? Did they believe in you more? Did you have a support system? You know, how was that for you?
I have no family and friends anymore because of trading.
Same.
Yeah, I'm on my own, man. I've got my missus and 2 kids and a dog. That's about it. No, it's trouble. I found is it's other people's expectations, and you can't. I find, I don't know about yourself, but I find it really difficult to speak to other people who are not trading, or they're not into the markets. I find it really difficult, because they just think that you should be a millionaire the way you're talking, and that gets frustrating, because they don't understand the blood, sweat and the tears that's gone behind sitting behind that computer, studying, going through the charts. And so my friend circle, I used to knock about with probably, there used to be 10 of us, lads all from school, spent probably 10 years on the scene, going out with them, all that sort of stuff. And right now I probably speak to 1.
Yeah.
And that is just through, because they're just really not interested in what I'm doing. They either think that I'm talking a load of rubbish, I don't know what I'm doing. If I did know what I was doing, I'd be sat in a big mansion. Again, that's their perspective of how stuff should be. And it is difficult. And obviously when the market's so volatile, people don't want to put the money into it. So it's just kind of friends. It has been tough on the friendship side of things. With family, obviously family's family, you aren't getting rid of them no matter what. So they're always there. But in terms of, do they believe I'm going to do well in what I'm doing? In the back of the minds, they probably do. But I believe that they probably have the same mindset as your friends, that, you know, why are you not driving that big fancy car, or why have you not got like 10 watches sat at home? And trading is very, very, or can be, certainly it's been for me, a very lonely space.
Yeah.
You know, you're essentially, if you think about it, you sat at your screen, you're by yourself, you're doing your own thing, you're trading for yourself. So, you know, the effect it's had on my family and friends has been basically, I've seen friendships depreciated just because, like I said, they're not interested in what I'm doing, or they don't believe in what I'm doing. And from a family side, it's been like kind of a selfish bit on my part, because I've wanted to do what I've wanted to do. So I've had to give up and focus on that.
For sure. I'd like to capitalize on the fact that you said you couldn't talk to people normally after you got into trading. I think that a lot of people, when it comes to the knowledge and the perspective and the mindset that you have to have when you come into this trading regime, is you completely have to change the way that you think about the world. You start to see the things behind the scenes. For example, the CV-19 crisis, you actually see the financial devastation that it's causing, and normal people, out on the street, they don't understand what's happening behind the scenes, why their United States dollar or their euro or their Great British pound is depreciating or appreciating in value, things of that nature. And so when it comes to having a normal conversation with somebody, that kind of goes out the window, because you start to realize that a lot of people lack financial knowledge, they lack financial education, or they lack the ability to just have an intellectual conversation because they're so stuck in the system. Now, for the most people, it's not necessarily their fault. That's how they were raised, and they don't really know any other route. For me personally, when it comes to friends and family, I was not necessarily lucky enough before I started my trading journey, but a lot of my friends and family disappeared before I started my trading journey, because right after high school, so 17 years old, turning 18, joined the Army, and I went away for 5.5 years. So that's when my friend group really started to change. But then getting out of the military and becoming a private contractor and getting into trading, I started to realize I couldn't make friends, because everybody, when I started to get into trading, I was, I'm 28 now, turning 29. I was 22, turning 23. And I started realizing that nobody was doing what was going to lead them to a more successful life. When I was 21, 22, 23 years old, that's the age where everybody's partying, drinking, going out on the weekends, doing irresponsible stuff with their money, not saving, not investing, not buying real estate, not buying crypto. And so I started to realize, when I got out of the military, all these negative influences in the form of friends that I could have. And I personally steered away from that. I drove myself away from those negative entities, because I realized that they weren't going to have a positive effect on my life. So kind of the inverse in a sense. However, same outcome, right? I'm alone, right? You're alone. It's just you in front of the charts making these executive financial decisions. And it comes down to your perspective, and your perspective alone at the end of the day. So great answer, man. Last but not least, we'll wrap it up here. And it's just, what is the most important advice that you could give to a beginner trader who is currently stuck in the system, in the matrix, and they're looking to get into trading, and they are on the internet right now trying to find free advice or free mentoring, whatever the case may be? What is the one thing that you would say to them coming into this space as a beginner trader, as not financial advice, but as guidance, kind of?
Yeah, I looked at this as what I would have told myself when I first started trading. I used to look and focus on what other people were doing, how other people were trading, what they were doing, what they were driving, all that Instagram and Facebook, all that sort of crap. If I was starting out again and I wanted someone in my ear, I would say to them, just focus on you. Don't worry about anybody else. Find what's right for yourself. Find your pairs. Find a mentor that you understand. And don't, because there's millions of mentors. There's millions of people out there throwing trading courses out. And it might be right for the person on your right, but it's not right for you. Mm-hmm. So you really need to, again, a lot of my stuff falls into the same category. It's that self-belief. You've got to really, for me, you've got to be very selfish in this market and in this game. You've got to really focus on what you want to do and how you want to execute your trades, because at the end of the day, you're paying yourself. You're not paying somebody else.
For sure. I like that one, man. If I was to give personal advice to someone, I hate that word advice in this market, because there's so many things that could go wrong when you're giving people advice. More so guidance. It would be to, okay, same thing for you. If I was to go back and talk to myself as a beginner trader, it would be to envision yourself as a profitable trader. What can you imagine a profitable trader does? Like, what do you in your mind think a profitable trader does on a day-to-day basis? And then start to do those things. In being a mentor over the past 2.5 years, having created CYPRX and this mentorship program that offers a phenomenal amount of education for a very inexpensive price that isn't commonly offered on the internet, right? We don't teach retail trading methodologies. We go in depth into market perspectives and how to trade against retail and how to really manage your psychology and escape and detach yourself from the matrix. I've noticed that amongst the majority of the CYPRX students that come into this space is they don't actively fill the shoes that they create for themselves. So they want to become profitable traders, but they do things like overtrade. They do things like over leverage. They do things like react based off of FOMO. Okay. And so if you're a beginner trader and you can imagine yourself as a profitable trader, well, those are all things that you would not do as a profitable trader that you can control. You can control each of those things: over leveraging, over trading, and over analyzing the markets, right? So if I was to give advice to anybody, it would be to envision yourself as a profitable trader and then fill those shoes over the course of your trading career. Start to wake up in a disciplined way. Start to analyze the markets in a disciplined way. Like you said, trust in a mentor that you understand. I tell my CYPRX students all the time, there's going to be things that I say that don't click with you. Discard them and use the things that do click with you, right? So that's what I would say. But yeah, man, thanks for your answers. I appreciate your time. We'll wrap it up there. And I'm sure that we'll touch base again heading into 2023. I hope that you and your family have a prosperous year. Thanks for your time, man. And
thanks very much.
I look forward to seeing more of your content, brother.
Brilliant. Awesome. Thank you for having us. Really enjoyed it.
100%, man. If anybody's interested in following Market Perceptions on Twitter, I will link his Twitter down in the description below. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Blessings to you all. As always, be cognizant, be aware, and I will see you guys on the next YouTube video breakdown.
I won't stop till I hear him say